Hi friends, welcome back to Spring Cleaning, a 14-day movement challenge. This is day 1, the beginning, and we're going to reset the body and just start from square one. So begin by tucking onto the toes at the back of your mat and setting the hips back onto the heels, just opening up the bottom of the feet and allowing it to reset and stretch the bottom of the feet. Go ahead and move the hips back and forth, just kind of feeling into the spots that are really tight. Make sure to relax your shoulders, keep a neutral spine. Start to clasp your hands behind you, either squaring out the wrists or letting the wrists touch. Inhale and exhale, take a slight gaze and back bend up towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, you're going to roll over the feet and forward fold, keeping the clasp of the hands, allowing the weight of your upper body to bring a stretch into those legs. Inhale and exhale, relax the shoulders and release the arms down to the mat. Take one round of breath here, and then we're going to come into chair pose. So inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold, and here we go. Inhale and exhale, set the hips back, keeping the knees behind the toes and lifting the arms up for chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. And one more time. Inhale to set the hips back and exhale to come into your chair pose. Start to lift the hips up for standing position. Take a slight back bend if that feels good. And exhale, dive the heart forward for another forward fold. For just a quick second, you can bring the hands, palms up under the feet, bringing the toes into the creases of the wrists, pulling the chest in closer to the thighs, and then exhale, release, and start to walk the hands forward for plank pose. Let this be slow, keep the body stable. Once you're in plank, make sure your core is turned on, so you draw belly button to spine and tuck the hips under. Keep the gaze neutral towards the top of your mat. Go ahead and drop the knees, untuck the toes, and bring the body and chest all the way down to the mat, inhaling for cobra pose. Engage the glutes, keep the gaze directly in front of you. No need to straighten the arms here just yet. We're still at the beginning of practice. Exhale, come up and set the hips back for child's pose. Inhale, look forward through the hands and slide the chest through the arms. Setting the hips down and maybe straightening your arms here on your inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale, drop the chest down. Tuck onto the toes. Start to lift the knees, lift the hips, and come all the way up into plank pose. Hold for just a second. Inhale. And on your next exhale, set the hips up and back for your first downward facing dog. Walk the feet into the body if that is necessary. Think about drawing the armpits down towards the mat, keeping your ears neutral and in between your arms. Close your eyes here and start to ripple the body forward up into plank. Stay neutral and exhale, downward facing dog. Again, ripple the body forward, coming up onto the toes, slowly landing into your plank. Drop the knees and set the hips back for child's pose. Inhale, exhale. Relax the shoulders. Start to walk the hands back, sitting on the heels, and then go ahead and lift the hips up off the heels. From here, you're going to balance on the right leg and start to draw the left leg forward for a low lunge. Pull left hip back and right hip forward. Inhale, bring the arms up, and go ahead and settle into this deep lunge, deepening it as much as it feels good for you. Maybe you start to draw the heel into the glutes, bending the right knee for a little dynamic movement for that hamstring and left glute. Go ahead and drop the leg down. Come on to the right toe and come up into a high lunge. Exhale, warrior two, open up the right arm. Keeping the foot flat, shift so the toes are facing the right side of your mat, and settle into this pose, warrior one, with a flat foot. Inhale and exhale, drop the right hand down on the inside of the left foot, bringing the left arm up and coming onto the outside of the right foot, starting to draw that left leg up into a side plank. And if it's available to you, setting the foot back and down for Wild Thing. Keep the gaze neutral. Relax the head, the neck, and inhale, come out as slowly as you came in, bringing the knee into the body and coming back into downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Start to roll the spine forward, set the knees down onto the mat. Coming back onto the heels for a quick child's pose before we get right into the other side. Inhale and exhale. Letting the elbows fall and feel heavy. Walk the hands into the body. Lift the hips up. Let's go ahead and move on to the other side. Setting your hands on your hips, shifting weight onto the left knee, and drawing the right leg forward for low lunge. Squaring out the hips, really feeling heavy in the hips. Inhale, bring the arms up. Maybe bring the heel into the glutes. But really just feeling into this pose and posture. Come on to the left toes and exhale for warrior two. Keeping your gaze neutral. Whenever you're ready, start to draw the toes out for warrior one, shifting the body to face the front of your mat. And exhale, drop that left hand down, coming on to the left toes and starting to draw that right leg into the chest and into the side body for your one-legged side plank. And then whenever you feel ready, or if you feel ready, dropping that foot back for Wild Thing. Protect the back and make sure you're engaged through the glutes even as you come out of this pose, bringing the right leg up again into the chest and slowly dropping the right hand down to the mat and setting the right foot down for downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale, lift the heels off the ground, coming up onto the toes and drop them down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, drop them down. And exhale, lift. And inhale, dropping them down. Working on some calf strength weaved into a little yoga practice. Start to walk the hands back and set the hips down and back, kind of swaying back and forth onto the toes. If this feels good, stay here. But if you can, and if there's availability to, go ahead and drop the heels. Bring the hands to prayer and use the elbows to draw the knees back for your yogi squat. Sway back and forth, and if you want to go a little deeper, you can begin to drop the right hand down to the right side of the mat, using the strength of your hip to keep the left leg back and drawing the left arm up and over. If you want to go even deeper, you can clasp the hands behind the hip for a slight bind. Inhale, release, and exhale, take it to the other side. Again, using the right hip strength to draw the leg out and keeping it neutral with the left leg, taking the bind behind the left thigh if that feels good for you. Exhale, release, and start to draw the hips down, all the way down to the mat. I'm going to shift forward on my mat, but you can stay where you are. And we're going to do a seated forward fold. Inhale, lift the arms up, and exhale, go up and over. Think about going over a ball of some sort. And exhale, draw nose to knees. You can keep your hands on the mat for support, or on the thighs, or along the shins, or on the mat, and using your hands to pull your head closer to your legs, allowing a bend in the knees if necessary. Gently release and bend into the left leg, keeping the right leg out long. Inhale, lift the right arm up, and exhale to twist, setting your left hand directly behind your glutes. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale to twist even further. Release, and we'll take it to the other side, bending into the right leg, flexing out the left toes. Inhale to stretch, and exhale to twist. Looking over that right shoulder, keeping your gaze neutral, and on every exhale, twisting a little deeper. When you're ready, release, and we'll bring the soles of the feet together for butterfly pose. You can set the elbows along the thighs to draw the legs down towards the mat. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale to fold over your feet. This was just day 1 of practice, so thank you for joining me for your reset practice. We're setting up these poses for you to be familiar with them for the remainder of the 14 days. Let's take one more breath together. Inhale through the belly and the chest, and exhale, let everything fall. Inhale again, and exhale, release. Bring your hands to prayer at Heart Center, and I'll see you tomorrow for our mind practice.